Davenport, Iowa. However, today is not about me. It's about you and our nation's future. If you agree, I want you guys to shout back, "We the people." We the people! Wait. Who is ready for the government to have a balanced budget? We the people! Who here is ready to say goodbye to Obamacare? We the people! Who here is ready for a government that answers to us instead of lobbyists and special interests? We the people! Who here is ready for a government run by our Constitution? We the people! And who here supports the only candidate who can defeat Obama in November, Ron Paul? We the people! First, I would like to introduce to you Rand Paul, the senator from Kentucky, and a stalwart defender of freedom.
Looks like there's a lot of undecided voters here, right? And my dad asked me to come and campaign. I said, well, it's not going to be cold, right? I said, I'll do it on one condition. I don't have to wear a tie, so here I am. Now, y'all may have heard there was a little girl, and she wrote a letter to God. And she wanted $100. She said she would do great things with it if God would just send her $100. Well, the postmaster didn't know what to do with the letter, so he sent it to the president. The president got the letter, and he said, well, that's cute. And he told his secretary, send her $5. So she got the $5, and her parents had taught her always to write a thank you note. It was only $5, but she said, well, dear God, thanks for the $5. But next time, don't send it to Washington. They stole 95%. Now, some people say we could never cut enough spending to balance the budget. We could never do it. I'll give you just one example of where we could get started. I think Republicans and Democrats, independents, we could all get together and agree that we should no longer send out checks to dead people. $600 million was sent out to dead people in the last 5 years. That's all they've discovered. One guy got his dad's government pension check from 1971 till 2008. He collected over $500,000 from one person. You know how they caught him? He died. We are borrowing $40,000 a second. Every minute, we're going to borrow $2 million. Just in the time we're here today, we're going to borrow over $70 billion. We owe China over $1 trillion. You know what the insult, the rubbing salt in the wound is? We owe China $1 trillion, and you know what? We send them foreign aid. We send them economic assistance. We send them economic development assistance to China. It is an insult. It's what separates many Republicans. I introduced an amendment to get rid of foreign aid. Do you know how many votes I got? There are 47 Republicans in the Senate. We got 20. There's a lot of conservatives masquerading as conservatives running for president in your field here in Iowa who would have voted and did vote for foreign aid. You need to know about it. There's only one candidate in the race, though, who has a plan that would balance the budget in his first term. There's only one candidate in the race who would cut $1 trillion. There's only one candidate in the race who understands that we will only fix this problem when conservatives and liberals both understand that the cuts will have to be across the board. Conservatives will have to understand that not every dollar spent for the military is sacred or well spent. Liberals will have to understand that not every dollar spent for domestic spending is sacred or well spent. When the two come together, when we recognize the profundity of the problem we face, the day of reckoning that is coming is the debt crisis. It's in Europe now, the dominoes are falling. But there's only one candidate who truly recognizes this and has the record to back it up. There's only one candidate who the Wall Street Journal described as a statesman whose refusal to compromise is legitimate. There's only one candidate in this race who's never been accused of flip-flopping. There's only one candidate in this race who's never, ever voted for an unbalanced budget. There's only one candidate in this race who the soldiers truly trust. Now, there's been a lot of flack about foreign policy and saying Ron Paul, his foreign policy isn't strong. Who do you think the soldiers trust? More active duty soldiers have given contributions to Ron Paul than all of the other candidates combined.
That's right.
Ron Paul will defend America, but Ron Paul believes in the Constitution that there are checks and balances, that Congress should declare war, that we don't fight for the United Nations, that we fight for the United States. But we do so reluctantly. We fight when attacked, and we fight when Congress approves and declares a war. This is something that you see the media every day saying can't be elected because of his foreign policy. Look at the crowds. Double, triple, quadruple what the other candidates are getting. Enormous crowds coming because they want something different. A fiscal conservative who also believes in a constitutional foreign policy. With that, I give you my candidate for president, my father, Ron Paul. Thank you, and thank you, Rand, for that introduction. You did such a good job. I don't know what I have left to say, but it is wonderful to see. We, the people, are growing. You know that. The numbers are growing. And it is, and as Rand pointed out, we have to get people to come together, liberals and conservatives. And I think that's one thing this campaign has done. We have got liberals, conservatives, independents, and bringing people together. The magnificent thing about bringing people together is the understanding about what freedom is all about. If you really understand personal liberty, it means that your life is your own, you live your own life as you choose, but you also get to spend your own money as you choose as well. I've been growing with optimism, and I've been in the business of promoting our Constitution and individualism for a long time. And quite frankly, thought years ago that the best I could do was to try my best to set a record, to get it endorsed in this local area and get reelected. And I actually believe that setting the record would be my responsibility and obligation. And we did that and got reelected and getting opponents and kept winning by larger margins. But the country has changed a lot, and it's desperately looking for something else. And all of a sudden, this message of the Constitution and freedom and American tradition, all of a sudden has become much more acceptable. And people are thinking about it. Yes, it is an appropriate message, but there's also something else going on. The country's in a mess. It's a mess. It's an economic mess, a spending mess, an attack on our civil liberties. I am so pleased on the campaign trail recent months here in Iowa. People have responded to my concern about the intrusion of our federal government